we've got a lot of wins against us. I think economy as well as really industry. You've got QM coming, which scares the hell out of me, because now we'll see if we get it pushed out a few years with Fannie, Freddie, and FHA, but whenever that 43% debt to income ratio kicks in, that's what really scares me, because there's a lot of good borrowers with 50% equity, 800 FICO, a lot of cash in the bank, but they're self-employed and they may have ratios of 45 to 55%. So they're not going to be considered a qualified mortgage. The other thing that really scares me is the 3% rule. So if you're a mortgage broker in the Midwest or somewhere where your average loan amount is $120,000, 3% happens like that. And that broker probably has broker compensation around 2 to 2.5%, enough to pay the bills. And so I don't know what's going to happen. I know that a lot of folks are moving into the mini correspondent. We've got a mini correspondent group that we started recently. A lot of folks may decide to work underneath a bank. I'm just not sure what's going to really happen. I think there's going to be a lot of unintended consequences with a lot of this legislation. It's really in a grinded out kind of time right now. Purchases still, there's still about anywhere from 25 to as high as I've seen 50% of purchases are happening with cash. And that's either personal folks doing that, or the private equity or hedge funds or the Wall Street guys that are jumping in and buying thousands of homes at a time. I do see as appreciation slowing, I think that may back off a little bit, and it will become more of a normalized market. And you'll see a lot more folks needing to borrow money to buy a home. But I also think that these local personal sales are going against all cash buyers, and they're getting beat all day long. But as projected, there was going to be a cliff moving out of the 3s into the high 4s, and that's what's happening. Refinances are off about 65% nationally against I think May 3rd numbers. Projected, if we're lucky, to do about $100 billion a quarter next year in refinances, or around 375 to 400 billion, which is off from 1.2 billion last year. So you better be able to do some purchase business. One of the issues with purchase, that's not going to fill the whole void. Projections for 2014 are supposed to be about $1.055 trillion, which is down about 45%. So what I really see is there's going to continue to be a lot of consolidations, a lot of mergers, a lot of acquisitions, and a lot of guys that got in during the refi boom exiting the industry dramatically.